Wallace finds top shelf back corner. Carlow is going to take the 4-1.
And we continue our season preview series here on the Carlow Sports Network. I'm Sean Meyers, joined by the head coach of Carlow women's basketball, Albert DeSalvo, the first-year head coach. Before we get into the interview, congratulations on being named the head man of this program.
Thank you very much.
So it is your first season, of course, as the head coach. What have been your points of emphasis since you took over?
Talking to the team, we're going to play a little bit of up-tempo type basketball, and we want to look at having fresh legs in there at all times. So we keep shuffling players in and out, and the girls are going to know their role in that.
You were the assistant head coach under Coach Moore the past 2 seasons. How much of a benefit is it for you and for the players to already have that familiarity?
I think it's going to be comfortable for them. They used to lean on me a lot when they needed to ask questions and stuff, so I'm just at a different role now. And like I tell the team, someone has to be the head coach. So I'm glad I'm here. I'm very excited about this season, and I hope that the team is looking forward to have a successful year.
Go back a year ago, 4 wins in the River States Conference for the Celtics. How did you evaluate the team's performance?
As we all know, that conference is pretty tough. I think that if we could be anywhere from maybe 10 wins in the conference would be a real plus for us. That could be stretching it, but we're going to do our best to keep everybody honest. I'm looking for teams to come and say, we don't really want to play that team again because they play some crazy style basketball.
What are the biggest strengths that your team has this season?
Well, I think our outside shooting is going to be real strong this year. We might be going 4 out, 1 in sometimes. And I'm going to look at different styles of basketball we're going to be playing. I'm going to take away a lot of plays we had last year and going to simplify it and let the girls have more free reign.
You talked about the ability on the perimeter. Well, basketball analytics at every level, professional on down, it says 3-pointers or near the basket. Is that something that you think your team might utilize this season?
Yes, I'm going to look more. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to look more for the 3-point shot than I am going to be looking to pound it down low. I want people like Megan and Emma to learn how to get the basketball near the foul line and be able to hit that jump shot there. So we don't really have to worry about pounding it down low and getting our bigs exhausted before we even get into the game.
So one of the best players a year ago, Emma Stille, had she had an injury during the season, I should say. How did the team react to that? What did you learn about this team during her injury?
Well, I learned that some of the girls have stepped up. Megan, she just stepped up big time, and it gave her the opportunity to see that with Emma not being there, that she can take over that role when needed. So that, to me, it seems like when they're both in there at the same time, it's going to gel more because she has that more experience now.
You've already alluded to some of the players, but who do you look at as the key returners this year? Key
returners this year, other than our seniors, Delaney and Emma and Caroline, other than our seniors, I'm looking at Cameron Lack and I'm looking at Angelica Roscoe.
So do you see any players that maybe take that next step this year that earn more minutes or become breakout performers?
Yeah, I'm looking at Keegan Brownlee to take a place of her sister from last year and take over that role. Her 3-point shot is starting to come across very nicely now. She's got more confidence in herself.
When you look at this roster composition, there's a lot of sophomores. There's more sophomores than upperclassmen between the juniors and seniors combined. Do any of those sophomores have to take on a leadership role?
Yes, they do. We have some girls that played quite a bit last year as freshmen, And I think they know what needs to be done, and they know they have to work on certain things, and that's what we're going to go over. So then at any time they'll be in the game and they'll know what their role is at that time.
You have just one freshman who joins the program in Carly. What have you seen from her, and what are the expectations?
Oh, Carly is she's tremendous on ball handling and tremendous on defense. She's quick, and she'll give us a lot of opportunities to push the ball up the court, and she's very good at seeing the open wing.
You mentioned before 10 wins in the conference, that's ideal, but what goals has this team set for 2019-20?
Well, our goal is to be better in our conference, no matter if it's a 3 or 4 point win more, but our outlook overall is to get at least back to one of the conference championships. Either it's the River States or it's the USCAA.
Speaking of the River States Conference, you mentioned how competitive it is. What teams do you look at as maybe some of the toughest competition?
IU East is a pretty good team, and I believe that Rio is going to be a lot better than they were last year. They struggled a little bit with injuries and stuff, but they're always a good club.
What are some notable aspects of the non-conference schedule for Carlow this year?
Well, by playing a couple of Penn State schools, Penn State New Kent, Penn State Greater Allegheny, will give us a little bit of less traveling and playing some USCA games. St. Mary's the Woods will go out there. They beat us at Penn State Beavers tournament last year. They're a tough team, but we've got more games that we can look at, hopefully, to get us to that next step at the USCA level.
You have a pretty unique background. Prior to becoming the head coach of the Carlow Celtics, a police officer for more than 20 years. Is there any traits that carry over to the basketball court?
Yeah, I can't run as like I used to when I was younger, so that's one of the things. But no, it's I'm not a yeller. I'm not a screamer. That's not me as a coach. And I've made that known to the ladies that that's the way it's going to be. I was taught something very well when I was on the police force, that a young kid and a 4 or 5 year old, if you show them respect at that age, when they're in their 20s, they will give their respect back to you. And I've always used that, and I treat everybody here like they're a class act. It's a class act school, and they need to be treated properly.
I know there's certainly a lot of excitement. You're set to make your coaching debut with the Celtics. What are you most looking forward to this year?
I'm looking to have a bigger crowd come out. I'm looking to get them involved, to make us be happy what we're doing. I'm looking to do some different things on the basketball court. I'm looking to let the girls have free reign. I've told them already that we're going to play. We're going to swing the ball a lot. We're going to play 4 out, 1 in. We're going to swing it. We're going to also, believe it or not, I know it sounds crazy, but I'm going to let them play street ball a little bit.
That sounds like it's at least going to be enjoyable for the fans. Hopefully it translates into victories as well. Well, congratulations once again on becoming the head coach. Good luck for the upcoming season.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
That is Albert DeSalvo, the new head coach for the Carlow Celtics women's basketball, here on the season preview. We continue the Carlow Celtics season preview for women's basketball 2019-20. I'm Sean Meyers, now joined by a senior forward, Emma Stille. Emma, thank you for taking the time.
Thanks.
So let's talk about the negative from last year. You had a pretty serious injury that you sustained. How is that recovery process going for you?
It's going pretty well. I have about a month and a half until I'm fully recovered. It's just been a long recovery process, but we're on the right page, so we should be good to go for the season.
And the injury occurred in a game. I know it was right around midcourt. I was there. What was your mindset when that injury occurred? Did you realize right away that it was pretty serious?
Yeah, I've torn it before, so I've had the feeling of the pop, and I hoped it wasn't that, but I just knew from the feeling and the pain.
What are some of the things that you go through in terms of rehab to get ready for another season?
It's a whole process. I mean, like, the first thing is just like making sure I can straighten it and bend it, to being able to run again and do like everyday activities, to jumping and like pivoting and moving around, just making sure that my knee's strong and can endure a full game.
There's just 3 seniors on this team. You're one of them. Do you feel as though you provide leadership, and how have you kind of improved in that area?
I think I provide leadership by just leading by example. I like to show the girls, just like through consistency, like even though I'm injured, I'm still on the sidelines cheering them on, doing as much as I can, even though I can't do as much as they can. And with our workouts, trying to push myself and have them be pushed by encouraging them to just do better and do more.
I know you said you still have a little while to go before you get back onto the floor for game action, but have you set any individual goals for this year?
Oh yeah. I'm really close to my 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds, so I'd really like to reach that as soon as possible. And just making sure that I get back to the level I was at and even further now. Like, it's my last year of basketball. I want to just leave everything on the court and have no regrets of it.
So those are the individual goals. What are the team goals for Carlow?
Team goals, I think we're on the same page. We want to make the playoffs again. We did it last year. We can do it this year. I want a above 500 record, and just to make sure our girls stay healthy. We do have a smaller team this year, so we just need to make sure we're eating right and staying in shape so we can endure the long season.
When you look at the rest of the roster, what teammate or teammates do you think will really take a big step up and break out this year?
Senior Caroline Willig, she's really stepped up from preseason, just seeing where her talent level was from last year to this year. So I'm very hopeful for her. And as well as Megan Ost, she has like a spot to fill right now. I'm not able to be on the court right now, so she just needs to step up and take that place. And hopefully when I get back, like, me and her will just like dominate in the post.
I'm guessing the game you're most looking forward to is the one that you return for, but aside from that, is there any particular matchups?
Always Point Park. They're our biggest rival. But it's just a good game. A lot of people come out for it. Our team's very competitive the whole game for the full 40 minutes, and we just like playing them.
So you, unlike a lot of your teammates, you're not from Pittsburgh originally, but you've kind of adopted the same mindset of crosstown rivalry against the Pioneers.
Yeah.
What are the biggest challenges of playing in the River States Conference?
We just have a lot of hard teams that we play. Their talent level's very high, and they just have bigger bench, so sometimes, like, coming from an 8-hour bus ride, we're tired, but we have the talent as they do, so we can play them.
You're from Westerville, Ohio originally. What led to your decision to come to Carlow University?
I was trying out every school that was recruiting me, and I saw Pittsburgh, the city, and it was so pretty, and I loved it. And I loved the coaching staff. I loved the class size at Carlow, and I like the location of where our campus is too. There's a lot going on in this city, so it's fun.
You have a new head coach here at Carlow. It's Albert DeSalvo who takes over. He was the assistant previously. Now he's running the show. How has that transition been?
We really like it. We liked him as an assistant. And we really like him as the head coach. And we like how he gives us more responsibility to take on. Like, we need to step up and lead the whole team together.
So this is your third different head coach during your time at Carlow. I'm sure there's negatives. There's also positives to that. What are those aspects?
The negatives are definitely just having the hassle of finding the new coach. It's such a long process, and it just worries us that we're not going to have one in time for preseason. And that has happened in the past where our preseason was shorter than usual because we didn't have one. But the positives is we've seen so many different types of coaching styles and had different coaches just coach us through the season. So it's nice just having that diversity there.
Final thing for you. You're a senior. Does it feel different now that it's your senior year?
It doesn't feel different for me, but I know the girls look up to us in a different way. So in that aspect, it feels different.
Emma, thank you so much for taking the time. Good luck in your recovery, and hope to see you on the court soon.
Thank you.
That is Emma Stille, the senior forward for the Carlow Celtics. We continue our season preview for Celtics women's basketball. I'm Sean Meyers, joined by Caroline Willig, another senior for the Celtics out of Thomas Jefferson High School. First off, thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you.
So you are one of 3 seniors on this team, kind of small upper-class roster. What leadership role have you taken?
The girls definitely look up to all of the seniors because we are such a young team. And I think just the girls know that I'm always going to be there for them, whether it's on the court or off the court. They call me mom, so they know I'm always there for them. And definitely in workouts, pushing them and just getting everyone to give their best.
What are your best attributes that you bring to the table for Carlow?
I'm definitely a leader, and I think the girls know I'm going to call them out if things aren't going the way we want them to, and just always giving my best every day, no matter if school's been hard or I've had a bad day. I'm definitely going to come and give my all.
It was a rough finish to last year. Obviously, Emma Stille's injury played a factor in that, but how do you make sure that this team doesn't go through a cold spell like that again?
I think just trying to stay healthy. Days off are important, and I think we've been doing really well right now with playing pickup and just getting used to each other. So we make sure we switch up teams every day and pick up, and just really getting used to each other on the court.
What team goals have the Celtics set for 1920?
We definitely want to make it back to the USCAA playoffs. That's always a goal, and another goal would be making River State's playoffs as well, and being above 500.
So the team welcomes just one new player, a single freshman, to the roster. Does it help that pretty much everyone else has already played together and is familiar with one another?
It definitely helps. We love the freshman Carly, and we're so excited to have her, but the first open gym back, everyone was back together and in their role where they're comfortable, and I think that really helps and helped us to kind of just pick up where we left off.
What games are you most looking forward to this season?
I think all of us would say Point Park for sure. It's always a big crowd. Everyone comes, both from school and families, and it's just that inner city rival that we've always had.
And you guys defeated Point Park last year. What did that mean to you?
I think they always look at us like, this is an easy win for us. And when we went in and beat them, it really proved that we could beat anyone in our conference, and we're a team to watch out for. And I think that was the most exciting part, was people now looked at it as, oh, wow, we play Carlow, we have to prepare for them. So it wasn't just about beating Point Park. It was about the conference is going to look at us as a team to watch out for.
So you played at Thomas Jefferson High School in the WPIAL. The vast majority of this roster is comprised of former players from that district. Did you have any familiarity, any relationships with any of the players before they became your teammates here at Carlow?
Some of the older girls that have graduated, I grew up playing with, so it was nice when I walked in being younger to know them. Some of the girls left, we've grown up competing against each other, and it's definitely so much fun to be on the same side now and have the same goals.
Well, you mentioned some of your former teammates that you knew before coming to Carlow. What ultimately led to your decision to join the Celtics?
I wanted to stay close to my family once I decided I was going to play basketball, so they could come and support me in the journey. And I love the city of Pittsburgh, and the area with this small school was perfect.
New head coach for the Celtics, Albert DeSalvo. What are his best qualities?
His best qualities are just being there for us. We always know no matter what, he's going to support us. And he's definitely fitting into the head coaching role great. We're so happy with him, and just the way that he wants us to play this year is so exciting for all of us, because having 3 coaches through this experience has been difficult, and he is helping us to get through all these changes.
Lastly, I'm sure there's still more memories to be made for you as you head into your senior season, but to this point, what really stands out as the most memorable part of your Celtics career?
Last year we traveled to the Virgin Islands, and it was both a really exciting experience as a team, on the court and off the court. We got to play some teams from all over the country and spend time together as a team on the beach and hanging out. So traveling is always my favorite part, and that was a really special place to go.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time, and I hope you have a great senior season upcoming.
Thank you.
That's Caroline Willig, the senior for the Carlow Celtics, here on the season preview.